This is Brew Crime News.
Your daily news, once monthly. Here are your hosts,
JT
and Mike. All right, we're back for Brew Crime News once again. Your daily news once monthly. This is Mike and my co-host for today,
Paige.
Hey, it's Paige again.
It's me again.
Woohoo!
I haven't been here in a long time.
You haven't been. And JT got held up. He was supposed to be here, and I was going to surprise him with Paige, and now he's going to be really surprised when he hears this and doesn't see himself.
Well, what we're hoping is that maybe he'll come in a little while, and y'all
Fingers
have an
crossed.
episode to record, and hopefully, he'll come in, and I'll still be here chilling and hanging out.
Fingers crossed. All right. Well, quickly, before we actually get started here, why don't you quickly tell them about your new podcast?
Oh, okay. So, yeah. So, you know how true crime really can drain you and burn you out and just kind of put you in a really dark space sometimes.
Yes.
I was kind of feeling that. And I just wanted to do something lighter because I was sitting around and I was like, I just can't not create something. I have to be doing something. And so I was like, well, what if I do something that's just a little more lighthearted? It's still going to have some, crime bits in there and some sad stories and stuff, but at least it's not the kind of deep dives and stuff that we do. It's not super dark. So I was like, okay, two of my favorite things in the world, pop culture and nostalgia. So I was like, okay, I think it would be cool to let's try to go back from 1980 to like 2019, 2020. And so season 1 is going to be like, it's a basic overview of each year. So 1980 was episode 1, 1981 was episode 2, and so on. And we're just going to do an overview of each year. So I think that's going to be around 40 episodes itself. So season 1 will just be that overview. And then I have already 6 or 7 seasons planned out. And
Nice.
I don't want to give anything away, but this is just an overview to prepare for those seasons.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really excited. I'm doing the like the big news. I'm doing celebrity gossip, movies, TV, toys, video games. You think of it, and I've probably got a segment in there, fashion. So all of that. So if anyone listens and has suggestions for other segments and topics, like bring it on. I'm having a lot of fun with it.
Did you say the name of the podcast? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think I did. The Pop Culture Diary.
There we go. Just to make sure.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I thought I did, but I don't know.
I'm not sure either. All right. Well, let's get into our news stories then. Well, why don't you do the honors? Why don't you go first, Paige?
Okay, so I have 2 stories that it was funny that these 2 things were in the news at the same time, I thought. So we need to meet Ned the snail. He's a garden snail in New Zealand, and his shell spirals left instead of the usual right. So it is a super, super rare trait that it's only affects like 1 in 40,000.
Holy shit. I didn't know they only spiraled one way.
Yeah, I didn't either. I had
Is this
no
like an
idea.
Australian snail? Because the toilet's flushed the other way?
Right? Oh my
Holy
gosh.
shit.
Yeah, it only affects 1 in 40,000. But it's kind of screwing up his chance at any like hopes and dreams of having
Aw.
some kind of romantic life. So, because his shell is that way, his genitalia doesn't align properly with most snails. So
Aw.
that is so sad.
Talk about blue balls.
Oh man. Oh man. Poor guy. Poor guy.
Right.
Oh, poor Ned. Dude. There is hope. There is hope though. So
Ooh.
Ned, gotta hang in there. But this snail was actually found in August by gardener and illustrator Giselle Clarkson in, I am so sorry for mispronouncing this, but it's Wairapa. So Wairapa. Okay, so
Yep.
in
Okay.
this place, yeah, in this place, Ned was immediately just whisked away into a tank and turned into a minor celebrity. New Zealand Geographic has since launched a nationwide plea saying, quote, if you find another left spiraling snail, call us. They named him Ned after left-handed Ned Flanders from The Simpsons.
Nice. Oh, I didn't know he was left-handed. I don't watch enough Simpsons. Oh
I
my
thought that
God.
was hilarious. And he's about 6 months old, and they only live 2 to 5 years.
Oh man, he should
So
be married by now then.
I know he should have been married at birth. Oh goodness, he doesn't have long. Hang in there, buddy. Oh, 2 to 5 years flies by really quick.
I guess maybe not when you move that slowly.
Yeah, it would seem like forever. Oh.
Oh my God.
Because New Zealand's biosecurity rules are so strict, importing snail suitors is unlikely. So Ned's best shot is locals rummaging around in the gardens. So he's got to just, you know, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, and it'll find Ned, or Ned will find the. So yeah.
Oh my.
But,
Poor Ned.
one more thing. Sorry.
No.
There is hope though, because there was a similar case in the UK where a lefty snail named Jeremy eventually found a mate, and they reproduced. So, they all had right coiled shells. So far, Ned's dating profile inbox is pretty dry, but he remains alone and hopeful and under obsessive snail care, from what the I think it's the AP says. He's under snail care, so that's good.
Come on, Ned. Slime right.
Do your best. Go, Ned, go.
Oh my God.
Okay. So this is from The Guardian. It's from September 8th. This is another place that I cannot pronounce, but I will try my best. Residents in Schwabach, Bavaria, were repeatedly jolted awake by late night doorbell ringing. Okay. They didn't, at first they were like, of course, these are kids, these are pranksters. And they called the police, but no one was at the door. Motion sensors didn't even go off. So eventually they did discover who the culprit was. And it was a slug creeping across the metal bell plate and triggering the buzzer. Slime trails confirmed the so-called prank. Police were amused, and they relocated this mollusk to nearby grass, giving it a stern lecture about these boundary rules. Now, we cannot have this happening. So the next time your doorbell rings for no reason, don't automatically assume that it's teenagers or even robbers. It just could be like a snail.
Ding dong slime.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's wild. I'm gonna go a little cuddlier than this.
Ooh, yay.
Torngat Mountain visitor gets front row seat as a black bear fights polar bear.
No way. How does this even happen, Mike?
Well, if you're north enough, this can happen. And there's going to be some names here I don't say. So, John Sigurdsson, who's from some crazy place in Iceland that is spelled HAFNARFJORDUR.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, Iceland.
That's the place.
So he was traveling in northern Labrador in Canada earlier this week. He captured a sight on his camera he would never see: a mother polar bear fighting a black bear. Sigurdsson described the encounter as remarkable and unexpected. He had been traveling down from Baffin Island into the Torgat Mountains with others on an expedition. He told CBC they had been seeing plenty of polar bears, but on Tuesday they saw a mother and her cub on the shore eating a seal. Quote, "This was quite enjoyable to witness. We kept a good distance, and all of a sudden we saw another mother and cub, also polar bears." And then, quote, "And they approached, and there was a little fight between the mothers, but apparently there was enough seal."
Oh
And then
my
he said
gosh.
the pair of mothers and cubs shared a seal carcass, but it was what happened next that was extraordinary. We could see a black bear a little bit further up the hill approaching the polar bears, and we said to ourselves, this is not going to happen. There is not going to be any sort of confrontation, but the black bear continued, and it made its way all the way to the polar bears. And the polar bears were not happy with this, and there was an attack. And I will send you an
Wow.
image right now in the
Please. Okay,
chat.
so this is fascinating to me in so many ways. But one, I didn't know that black bears and polar bears lived so close to each other. That's just something I didn't know.
Yeah, polar bears live like in the north in the Arctic, but black bears can go that far up north too.
Yeah, you travel far enough, you can get there. Yeah.
Yeah.
God. That must have been a really long way and maybe he thought, "Hey, maybe I can make buds with these guys." And they're like, "Oh, hell no.
Hell
Not
no.
kids. You better get."
Did you see the picture in the chat there?
Yeah, yes, of the polar bear.
Yeah. And then the black
Yeah,
bears on the left.
yes.
So polar
That's
bears are the only bear on earth that are only meat eaters. Like black bears, grizzly bears, all of them eat berries and meat and stuff. So
oh,
scary
wow.
fight. So eventually the mother bear scared off the black bear. He said, adding he had never seen anything like it in as many years of traveling. Sigurdsson had previously heard stories of other folks in the same area seeing polar bears and black bears at the same time, but nothing like his encounter. Along with his colleagues, he hasn't been able to find similar encounters when searching for photos. Here, I'll share another one here. They're not as
Yeah,
cute when they've
dude.
had a kill.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's just heartbreaking, dude, because those mamas were probably thinking, like, we have to protect these babies. And
Oh, they won anyways. The black bear left.
yeah.
All right, and I've got another one here. Scientists using mussels as messengers of water quality, testing for chemicals in Ontario's Grand River. So,
Mm,
by studying mussels in the Grand River, Brantford, Ontario, a team of scientists hopes to better understand how some chemicals are affecting the environment. Patty Gillis, a research scientist with Environment and Climate Change Canada, studies aquatic contaminants with her team based in the Canadian Centre for Inland Waters in Burlington, Ontario. She and her team use native freshwater mussels as messengers of water quality to answer questions about the distribution and effects of contaminants. Mussels don't
wow.
move around much. They bury themselves in sediment and filter water through their gills, meaning they are exposed to contaminants from the water and riverbed.
Wow.
So, quote, maybe they've been exposed to something like a metal or pharmaceuticals in the river that makes them not as healthy. So we can quantify some of those things by taking a piece of their tissue.
I mean, how cool is that? How cool.
Well, it's one of the dangers too of eating like mussels and clams and all that.
Yeah.
What else is it? Mussels, clams, and I don't eat shellfish, but like you have to be
Yeah.
careful because if the water's contaminated, they filter all of that through them. So
Yeah.
it can be a bad thing too.
Yeah, I don't really eat seafood at all. So, yeah, I wasn't even thinking like, "Oh shit, people are eating that though too."
Yeah. So our
Oh,
team is sampling at the river downstream of the municipality's wastewater treatment plant. They're hoping to understand how individual chemicals and mixtures of chemicals affect different mussel species by studying their population, analyzing stresses the mollusks are under, and testing their bodies for metals and chemicals. Other teams are doing similar work by looking at other species, including snails, birds, and fish. The overall initiative is a pilot project called the Integrated Chemical Mixture Project, which is studying species in Brantford and Windsor, Ontario. That's
well,
really
darn
cool.
it. I was gonna say though that Ned could come do a good thing for a good cause, but he's in New Zealand and
Yeah, I
they're
know, right?
trying. Sorry, Ned.
Sorry, Ned.
But I just think science is just the coolest thing in the world, and just learning more and more about how to do those things where you can tell, okay, this is contaminated, this is whatever. Like, I think bioscience is just really cool.
Yeah, I agree.
But that is very scary for people who eat that.
Yeah.
It's
Well, these ones are not meant to be eaten anyways. They're put in a river that's obviously having some problems with contaminants, but they're just
yeah,
using them as a great way to study it.
right, right. Because the fish and stuff are definitely ingesting it.
Yep.
You think about that when you're eating your next big seafood meal. Think
Oh,
about
num num
all
num.
the contaminants and radioactive shit in there, probably.
It's in all of our food and water and
Yeah,
beer and drinks and air
so
and everything.
true.
Except in the States because they're not testing for it anymore, so it doesn't exist.
You are not wrong, my brother, at all.
Speaking of that, do you want to move to politics?
Let's go.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House? There you go. Why don't we just ask Osama Obama, what is since he won by such a big amount?
This will forever be my favorite sting of all time, because no matter how many times I hear it, I laugh so hard. It is crazy.
Same.
Okay, well, first we have Pokemon pushing back against ICE deportation videos,
Nice.
reported by Sky News on September 26th. So someone in the government decided that it was just this great idea to splice up Pokemon footage and borrow their phrase, gotta catch 'em all, and pair it with clips of people being deported. And to nobody's surprise, the Pokemon Company International was not amused. They made an official statement saying that it had no part whatsoever in creating or distributing this video and did not grant permission for its use of its trademark material. So the footage surfaced on the Homeland Security's X account and the White House's TikTok, like, you know, business as usual. And it racked up millions of views. And when asked, a DHS spokesperson cheekily, like, riffed on the Pokemon theme. Quote, to arrest them is our real test. To deport them is our cause.
Ugh.
It's
Yeah. Okay.
crazy. But Pokemon is now a part of a growing list of artists and brands that have publicly distanced themselves after their work was used
Yeah.
without consent by him. And these are just some past grievances. I think this was recently when Theo Vaughn was hurt and mad, the podcaster Theo Vaughn, I'm not sure if you ever watch him or know who he is.
No, no idea.
Kind of big time over here. And he was upset, and he is a right-leaning kind of guy, I feel.
Oh, okay.
He tries to be neutral, but he feels more right-leaning. But he was like upset about it, and DHS, he let them know, like, take my voice off of there. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, don't use Pokemon for that kind of bullshit. I misunderstood where that was going, actually, because I was like, yeah, Pokemon. Oh, wait, no, I'm with Nintendo.
Yeah.
Don't use Pokemon for just poor people trying to survive.
Exactly. I mean, you're using cartoons.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so dark, honestly.
Created by people from outside the United States.
Yes. That's really dark. You know, in 2024, Freedom, Beyonce song that Kamala used for her run, he used it without permission during one of his campaign runs in 2024, and she was like, "Oh, hell to no. You are not going to be playing my song Freedom by like with Trump walking out to that?" No. I don't know this band. Black Rebel Motorcycle Club issued a cease and desist over a DHS video using their cover of a folk song. The Rolling Stones, British singer Jess Glynn said, she actually said she was sick after her song was overlaid on arrest footage.
Yeah, I bet.
So, using music or video for promotional content typically requires licenses from rights holders. Skipping that step can lead to copyright trouble. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah, you said Pokemon of all things.
Yep. Damn
What do you
ice.
got?
All
Yeah.
right. Canada issues warning for citizens with gender-neutral passports traveling to the United States. Canadian government is warning citizens who list X as their gender on their passports they could have problems entering the United States or other countries. In a change made in recent days, the Department of Global Affairs added an advisory to the United States travel page for LGBTQ plus Canadian passport holders. Quote, while the government of Canada issues passports with an X gender identifier, it cannot guarantee your entry or transit through other countries, it wrote. You might face entry restrictions in countries that do not recognize the X gender identifier. The notice advises that Canadians, quote, may still be asked to provide your sex or gender information as either male or female when entering. The move comes months after U.S. President Donald Trump signs an executive order directing the U.S. government to only recognize two sexes, male and female. The order also directed that all documents issued in the U.S. federal government refer to sex rather than gender.
Well, here's the thing. I'm so sick of these goddamn executive orders. Number one, they're not federal law. So they're just, they haven't been signed into law or anything. Like, you can't fucking do that.
Yeah, it's stupid. So in January, the Canadian government said an estimated 3,600 citizens have listed X as their gender on their passports, an option that has been available to Canadians since 2019. And I'm sure part of that is because it does exclude them from some countries, so there's probably less doing it than you'd expect.
Yeah, but still, oh my God. I just want to know, what does that matter? I need to know why it matters.
I agree.
I think it matters to me with all of these things. Let's get down to the root of why it really matters. Because when you dig deep enough, when you hit that root, it is going to be, the reason is I'm actually a hateful person who might be a bigot, a racist, anti all of this stuff. And you just don't want to say it.
Yeah.
Because this should not matter.
I love this too. This next sentence here is hilarious because I think didn't the American government just shut down because they couldn't sign? Yeah. So
Yeah.
Jennifer Young, spokesman for the U.S. Embassy in Canada, said the current U.S. government shutdown prevents the embassy from commenting on the change. And this was, oh, you know what? I guess this article was just updated because it actually is now the first. Okay.
Ah.
But yeah, it's like, come on. Canada is now adding even more travel advisories for
I
Canadians
mean,
going to the
that's
States.
just wild.
It's sad.
Okay, we have to talk about this. This is what I've been hearing about on Twitter ever since it's been announced. It's all I've seen in the news. Is about Bad Bunny at the Super Bowl and MAGA throws a fit. This is from the USA Today. Puerto Rican
Fuck.
megastar Bad Bunny is going to be headlining the 2026 Super Bowl halftime show in Santa Clara, California. And most people responded with excitement. But MAGA World responded in MAGA fashion, I guess you could say. The objections are he sings in Spanish, advocates for Puerto Rico, and isn't particularly fond of Trump.
I mean, I've also heard they're saying that there should be an American that performs.
You know what? People are so damn dumb, Mike.
Yes!
Dumb. You don't even
Yes.
know.
Puerto Rico is an American protectorate or whatever. They are American citizens.
Yes. My God. My God.
If they didn't speak Spanish, they would be a state.
Right. We'll get to that. I have so much to rant about that. But this says, quote, does this guy really scream American football to anyone? One conservator influencer asked. And the next thing says, apparently forgetting Puerto Rico is part of the U.S.
There you go. Yeah.
Supporters do point out that Bad Bunny's resume, blockbuster albums, sold out residencies, Hollywood roles, which, would be, to me, exactly the kind of person that you would want at the Super Bowl.
Also, a bit part in a previous Super Bowl.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
People are so fucking dumb.
I can't. His critics, however, are saying that this performance might turn into a giant anti-ICE rally. Bad Bunny's presence matters because it slams head on with the politics that normalized scoffing at Spanish in public and brushing off Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria. He's long refused to play U.S. shows, because he quit and he left for a while and wouldn't do any shows here.
Yep.
Because it was putting his fans at risk of ICE raids, and so he just didn't do it. Now he's taken that stance to America's biggest stage. One TikTok influencer said, quote, it's representation, it's defiance, it's joy in the face of people who tried to shrink us. So while MAGA is melting down online, Latino kids get to prove that they don't need to code switch to belong, and the rest of us get a halftime show that's actually worth watching, and we love to see it. I mean, even if some of the songs, I know he does English and Spanish, but like some of the songs are in English and whatever. But my question is, okay, this is my whole thing about the executive order shit earlier, because Trump had an executive order that America's official language is English, but that is not federal law. So it's still not an English only speaking country. Like that's just not, that was just an executive order. It's not law. So
exactly.
And people are saying, all right, hang on. Where are we going
also, Baby Metal is a massive band in the United States now for metal music, and they mostly sing in Japanese.
Yeah,
Rammstein has always been popular in the United States, and they sing in German. It's just
Yes.
because they're suddenly well, not suddenly, but they're super racist against Hispanic people, so they're
Yeah,
gonna
outwardly
kick them out. Yeah.
brave. Yeah, they're outwardly brave now.
So dumb.
Yeah, but so since he said, English is America's language or whatever, and it just people are so cruel just to be cruel because they're like, why even have him there if none of us can understand him? Or like, this is America, you should have to speak English. Like, what are you talking about? We are a big melting pot. Puerto Rico
Yeah.
is part of the United States. It's literally like, why does everything have to be for the whites for it to be okay?
The ones that
It's
stole the land from indigenous people. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Those ones. They're always like, if it's not Metallica or Kid Rock or like, I don't know. I hate to say Metallica because I do like Metallica, but
And
like
they wouldn't
all
be
these,
okay with it.
yeah,
They only hate
yeah,
people that download their music.
right. Oh my gosh, Napster throwback.
Yeah.
Holla at the Pop Culture Diary because I'm sure we'll be getting to that like.
In like 4 years.
But yeah, I think that the other people who live in this country who don't speak English, that are around English speaking majority all day long, or, I don't know, they don't get to experience their culture on display like this. Why
Yeah.
can't, like last year, they were on Kendrick Lamar for the same thing, different prejudice.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Well, I
It's
mean,
just disgusting.
it's so frustrating because it's just like in Canada with the CFL, the Canadian Football League, we have the Grey Cup, which is our Super Bowl. And it's often not Canadian bands.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and so
last
many
year here
people.
in Vancouver, we had the Jonas Brothers, which are an American band. And then we
Yeah.
had Green Day the year before in Hamilton, Ontario. A couple of years ago, we had who's this person? Tyler Hubbard. I don't know who that is. Jordan Davis and Josh Ross. I'm not sure who they are. We had the Arkells the year before that. Keith Urban in 2019. Like, who
Yeah,
cares? It's just
exactly. Exactly.
Shania
You know,
Twain in 2017, which is Canadian, but yeah, it's
yeah,
just who cares? Like, you go back, even like Imagine Dragons in 2014. Like,
exactly.
they're not
Exactly.
Canadian, and we're not
Yeah,
getting all pissed off.
people were talking about like the Who and like just so many other people who, even if they were from Canada to wherever else, like
The funny part,
Australia, Germany, like they've all done it.
and I mean, you know what? Like the Who, good band,
Yeah.
but the whole idea of these acts is supposed to be bringing in younger people and new people to the sport. So you're not going to
Yeah.
play some friggin' stupid
Yeah.
act that isn't like at all relevant anymore. You play someone who's
Yeah.
relevant
Exactly.
to bring in, and the NFL is trying to be a global sport. So the last thing
Yeah.
they need is some friggin' nobody act that the MAGA idiots love.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah. All right. Well, I've got one here. So I always forget his friggin' last name. Pierre. We call him PP. The leader of the Conservative Party of Canada, our little like mini Trump loser. He claims
Oh,
that Christians may be the number one victim of hate-based violence.
oh, come on. Knock
The
it off.
conservative leader PP said on Monday that Christians and their places of worship are being targeted, and if elected, he will crack down on religious-based hate through tougher sanctions on crimes like arson. Speaking to reporters in an announcement on food inflation, Pierre said that he watched with alarm at the terrible spat of church burning incidents he described as terrorist attacks. I've not heard about these church burnings. He claims 100 churches have been burned. Christians may be the number one group that are victims of hate-based violence. But of course, it's not politically correct to say that.
You mean perpetrators of...
Yeah,
they
right?
are the perpetrators.
100%. So according to the most recent Statistics Canada data, the majority of hate crimes targeting a religion reported by police in 2023 were directed at Jewish people, 70%, and Muslims, 16%. There were a total of 1,284 hate crimes targeting a religion that year, a sharp 67% increase from 2022, and the phenomenon largely driven by more police reported incidents against Jewish, 900 hate crimes, and Muslims, 211 communities. Right? So this is all just bullshit drummed up by conservative losers.
The thing is, they know if they just fucking say it online or if they just say anything anywhere now on national television, international television,
Yeah.
no matter if it's a lie or not, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because people are not going to believe otherwise, and they know
Yeah.
it.
So it does say Stats Canada does show there was an uptick in hate crimes directed at Catholics in 2021, a religion-based violence that came after unfortunately, I can't pronounce these First Nations reserves here, or these nations, but
That's
they
okay.
were grounds of the former Catholic-run Kamloops Indian residential schools. Indicated as many as 215 children had been buried on these sites. So that's not like, this is just because Indigenous people are fucking sick and tired of being perpetrated against.
Exactly.
There were 43 police reported crimes targeting Catholics in 2020, and that did jump to 155 the year after, but it's sharply less than Jewish and Muslim people.
Oh, yeah.
And then again, in 2022, that dropped significantly against. This is just more fear and hate drummed up by this loser, Pierre. He just wants to be the little Canadian Trump, and he's just trying to sell us out to the United States.
That's disgusting. Okay, so we know apparently he's got to be working with somebody in America. To make this little crossover.
I'm gonna send a picture of him. He even looks like a fucking asshole.
Oh God.
People.
Oh God. I just want to punch him in the face.
Right?
Like, he's not even doing anything, not making a facial expression or anything, but he has such a kickable, punchable face.
Yes, he does. He is so unpopular that he lost his seat in Ontario, and he had to kick someone out of their Alberta seat in government because they've never basically been anything but conservative there. But the fun part about Battle River, Alberta, where he won and finally got back into government as the leader of the Conservative Party, in like the 90s or whatever, they had a friggin' neo-Nazi music festival there. So, they've got some issues there.
Oh my God.
Right?
Yeah, there's always silence when we see live on our feeds on TikTok these neo-Nazis and Proud Boys and straight up Nazis, KKK members in their outfits walking down the streets just like taunting people. Like, where are they then? Where have they been when all of these black men have been found hanging lately?
Yep.
Like, where? Hello, crickets?
Of course, because they're not Christian nationalist white fuckers.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Organized crime figure dead. 2 others injured in shooting at Laval, Quebec Starbucks.
Holy shit. Tell me all the details.
A man with ties to organized crime was killed and 2 others were seriously injured in a daylight shooting at a Starbucks in a busy strip mall in Laval, Quebec, which authorities said bore hallmarks of a planned hit. Radio Canada sources have confirmed that victim, Charles Lambois, Oh, Jesus. I'm going to send you this name. I'm going to keep trying, but
Okay.
I'm not saying you're going to know, but holy shit.
Oh yeah, I definitely probably not.
Shalambaz
Okay.
Theologo? I don't know.
Charlabas Theologo.
Okay, there we go.
Theo-
He's also known as Bobby the Greek. I'm going to go with Bobby the Greek.
oh, Bobby the Greek is like, dude, you just said that from the jump.
I haven't read that far ahead yet.
I
The two
love it.
people injured in the shooting were members of his gang, the Chemblay Greeks. The Laval police rushed to the Starbucks located at the corner of Highway 440, Service Road, and 100th Avenue after receiving a 911 call at 10:30 a.m. reporting the shooting. At the time, the busy complex, which features other restaurants and businesses, was packed with people. Public Safety Minister Ian Lafreniere, I think, told reporters in Quebec City that one person had been killed and two others injured, but he said that the shooting appeared to be a targeted one connected with organized crime, and he didn't think that any innocent victims had been harmed. But still
Oh,
happening in the Starbucks at 10:30 a.m. in the morning, this is not something I'm happy about, he said.
oh my God.
So he was known for his involvement in oversight of an extortion ring in Laval. His criminal record includes multiple convictions for conspiracy, weapons charges, and drug trafficking. He was sentenced to 4 years in prison for conspiracy and aggravated assault in 2007, and shortly after he was released to 5 years in prison for drug trafficking in 2010. CBC has verified a photo circulating on social media taken inside the Starbucks, which shows three men lying on the ground, one with a visible wound. The man appears to have been seated in a lounge area near the back of the cafe.
Oh my gosh. Were there any children there or any?
It doesn't say, but I mean, it said it was full of people, full of customers.
Oh God. That is terrifying. Like that has to be one of the worst scenarios for me. Is to like be out somewhere like shopping and then all of a sudden the person in your line or anywhere in the store just starts losing their shit and you're just
Yeah.
like paralyzed in fear. That's one of the worst things I could ever imagine. That's why I like Instacart. Instacart's great. DoorDash, anything like that, because being out in stores, especially after doing true crime for so long, the first thing I think about when I step into a store is like, God, I really don't want there to be a shooter in here today. Like, oh, just let me get out of here.
America, fuck
Yeah.
yeah. I don't even think of that when living here. I mean, this was
Yeah.
in Canada, still gun violence here, but not like it is in the States.
Right. Right.
All right, go for it. That's probably good enough.
This is interesting because it could have gone in the animal part or the crime part. But I think it belongs here for sure more than our animals because those are usually, compassionate, I don't know, more cuddly, feely animals stories that we do. They're funny. This is horrible. So this was from the AP News and Huffington Post. I don't know the date except September 2025. To look on here. I've just wrote my sources down. In Hudson, Florida, a 61-year-old man decided just a normal neighbor dispute was apparently too boring. So the owner, the 61-year-old male, he had peacocks. And so since they were in an argument, he went and killed, cooked, and ate two of his own pet peacocks.
Holy shit.
Why? Because his neighbor had been feeding them. Okay, his neighbor had been feeding the peacocks, and he left a letter promising more bird carnage if the feeding didn't stop.
Oh my
Like
God,
this
people are fucking
one
stupid.
God, as they usually are. But because, like, you're feeding my peacocks, I would rather go kill them than you feed them. What? I don't.
Yeah, I don't get it
Okay, so
either.
authorities charged him with aggravated animal cruelty, which is a third-degree felony. Um, he also admitted to cutting their necks, bleeding them, and frying them up, and planning to dispatch the rest of his peacocks to avoid future meddling.
I laugh here because it almost sounds like he did these peacocks in a halal fashion.
I mean, seriously,
Because when like for halal, for what I understand, for like
yeah,
for Muslim people, the animals are drained of blood right away. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, so weird.
Oh my God. But, I just don't. I don't understand the minds of these people, and thank goodness, right? But
Right? Yeah.
um, most of the people we've written about, it's like, how does your mind work? Like, I need to know how and why you think killing your peacocks just because this man is feeding them. Like, what made you come to that conclusion in your mind? Like, that was a good idea. I
Yeah,
don't,
something's wrong with that noggin.
for sure. Oh, I do have one more crime.
Go for it. I don't, but go for it.
This is a quick one. Okay. September 30th, in San Bruno, California, police doing a DUI operation watched a Waymo self-driving taxi commit an illegal U-turn. Well, they pulled it over, but they looked in the driver's seat and there was no person there.
Yeah,
And
of
I
course
guess
not.
that shocked them. I don't know. It's like, what did you expect? But the officers declined to issue a ticket because one person noted on social media too that their citation books don't have a box for robot. So they basically were thinking the same thing, and the department's post added no driver, no hands, no clue. They contacted Waymo to report this glitch, and the company says that it's investigating and committed to road safety. Under current law, only people can get moving violations. So the car was left off of that for now.
It's almost like the laws need to change there because if there's a vehicle driving on the road,
Exactly.
there needs to be
Changed the law
repercussions.
yesterday. Oh my gosh. Oh, but there is hope. There is a new California law taking effect in July of 2026 that will allow police to report autonomous vehicle violations to the DMV. Because you got to think they have those little robots that also carry food to people.
Yeah.
They have all different kind of stuff like that. So, I mean, yeah, who gets the ticket? That's so they are putting a new law into effect in July in California. We need that pretty much everywhere now.
I mean, like, I don't trust the police, but also if a car is driving by itself, someone should be liable.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Well, I'm going to do this because I've been getting more vocal lately.
Oh, goodness.
Israel forces board Gaza flotilla, detain Greta Thunberg, other activists. The Israeli military has intercepted several ships from the flotilla of vessels carrying humanitarian aid to the besieged Gaza Strip, detaining many of the activists on board. At least three ships from the global Samud flotilla, made up of 44 vessels, and some 500 activists were intercepted approximately 70 nautical miles, 130 kilometers east or from the coast of Gaza, according to organizers. Israel's Ministry of Foreign Affairs said in a post on X on Wednesday that several vessels of the flotilla were safely stopped and their passengers are being transferred to an Israeli port. It's remote that a Swedish activist, Greta Thunberg, who had been on board the lead ship Alma and her friends are safe and healthy. The minister also shared a video showing Thunberg. So far, at least 6 ships have been intercepted by the Israeli Navy, according to an activist group. The names of the vessels are the Deir Yassin, the Mali, Huga, Spectre, Adara, Alma, and Cirrus. Several ships were targeted by acts of, quote, active aggression. It says Florida vessel had been deliberately rammed at sea. Ulara, Matique, and others have been targeted with water cannons. All passengers on board were unharmed, it added, before being intercepted. The vessels had succeeded in sailing beyond the point where the Madeleine flotilla was intercepted by Israeli forces. And I'd seen another one that said that most of the boats were still continuing on and they had made it to like 50 kilometers from shore. So I'm really
Yeah.
hoping that they make it, because what Israel's doing and blockading aid to Gaza is absolutely fucking disgusting.
Yeah. And it wasn't, gosh, or maybe it wasn't it a while back when we weren't even sure if Greta was okay, because the video that had come out that when they were on the boat, that's been like what, 2 months ago. So they're still that,
Oh,
that's
they've been
crazy.
using fear tactics and blowing up munitions near the boats to scare
Yes.
them.
And it might not have been 2 months ago. So I just feel like it's been a long time ago since I've heard about it. But yeah, that's just so cruel.
So yeah, it looks like there's still a Malaysian PM denounces Israel's intimidation. Protests in Argentinian capital over Israeli raid on the flotilla. It looks like they've detained more than 200 people an hour ago, but
Oh my
it said
God.
there was like 500 people, so there's still a lot of people going. Yeah, they've only got 13 vessels so far as of 2 hours ago. So hopefully at least some of them make it. And yeah.
How are the other ones making it past that point?
There's only like Israel has a pretty small navy, it sounds like. So there's only so many navy ships that they can use, and there
Yeah.
is over, what did I say, 44 vessels. So there's just so many vessels.
Yeah,
So like I said, I hope some of these get through with aid, because
for
Israel
sure.
is literally burying and burning aid that's supposed to go there, and they're murdering
Exactly.
people try to bring aid in. So
Yeah.
yeah, okay, your turn.
Okay, well, this one isn't too too light, but going from that subject to this one, they're both just as dark to me. During a routine maintenance at Charlotte Douglas International Airport, workers made a discovery of a deceased stowaway hidden inside the landing gear compartment of an
Oh,
American
jeez.
airline flight that had just arrived from Europe. Okay.
Jesus.
This is insane. The body was pronounced dead at the scene. The police have launched a homicide investigation, but so far they're not disclosing the identity, the cause of death, or the flight's original origins. They just are saying from Europe to here. So experts warn that this sort of an attempt is extraordinarily risky, and most don't survive the cold, low oxygen, or the mechanical forces that are involved when the wheels retract or extend. So, like that, I don't know why anyone would do that on purpose, but they're basically saying, like, don't, because you're not gonna survive the cold or the low oxygen.
Yeah.
I mean, I am on the side of I don't think he did that by choice. I haven't looked further into it. It's something I definitely want to keep an eye on.
Yeah, for sure.
I might even this kind of thing is so interesting to me when people are found in weird places, and it's just, remains a mystery until 25 years later they finally figure out what's happened. It's just stories like this. I don't know, the mystery of it is interesting to me.
Agreed.
I'm afraid being famous isn't the same as being a true hero.
That's a wrap, ladies and set. That's a wrap.
All right. Beloved children's writer Robert Munsch opts for assisted dying. Robert Munsch has been approved for medically assisted dying in Canada at the age of 80. The children's writer, whose 85 published books include Paper Bag Princess and Love You Forever, was diagnosed with dementia in 2021 and also has Parkinson's disease. Talking with the New York Times Magazine, he said that a confirmed date of his death has not been confirmed, however, said he would go when I start having real trouble talking and communicating. Then I'll know. Canada first legalized euthanasia in 2016 for people with terminal illnesses. In 2021, the law was changed to include those with serious and chronic physical conditions, even in non-life-threatening circumstances. Munch has sold more than 80 million copies of his books in North America alone, and they have been translated into at least 20 languages, including Arabic, Spanish, and, it's an indigenous language of North America that I cannot read.
Oh, wow.
In the interview, the celebrated author said his decision was influenced by watching his brother die from Lou Gehrig's disease, the most common form of motor neuron disease. Munch recalled they kept him alive through all these interventions. I thought, let him die. So in Canada, more people over the age of 18 must meet several requirements to be eligible for assisted dying, such as having an incurable illness. Their request should not be made under any kind of external pressure and be in an advanced state of irreversible decline in capacity or capability. Munch's daughter, Julie, posted on Facebook that her father's decision to pursue medically assisted dying was made 5 years ago. Discussing the interview, she said, nowhere does it say my dad isn't doing well, nor that he's going to die anytime soon. According to Canadian law, the person must be able to actively consent on the day of his death. And medically assisted dying accounts for 4.7% of deaths in Canada in 2023, as per the most recent official guidelines. I was a big fan of Robert Munsch when I was a kid. And I know he's a Canadian children's author, but I didn't actually realize he was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and then he moved to Canada in 1975.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he came up to work at the University of Guelph, Ontario, and he was born in 1945. So he became a Canadian in 1983. So I was 1 year old.
Yeah, I know that's a very tough talk to have, but
yeah,
if if I needed to have that talk with somebody, that's if I could, if there was any way in the world, that would be how I would want to go.
Yeah, on your own terms, right?
Yeah. And I know people have so many different takes on it, but the most important thing is he went the way he wanted to.
He's going to go. He's going to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he wrote a book. His latest book came out last year. So he's even now with his health dropping in 2021, or was it 19? He's actually written a bunch of books still.
Oh,
that's amazing. Gosh. I actually got to meet him when I was a fairly young kid at a book signing and reading.
Oh, that's
and as a child, I was so confused because he autographs Bob Munch, not Robert Munch.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't know what book it was that got autographed. It's been lost to history.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's so sad, cool. But good for him.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, just so people don't get too upset, this is another very, very dark one, but very important as they all are, but, significant.
I wouldn't call it dark. It's just sad.
It's sad. Yeah. It's
dark.
Dark. It's sad. But we've hit you with so many sad ones back to back. Just know there is one coming up that will be okay. It's coming up next. So don't be sad. But Jane Goodall, the renowned British primatologist and conservationist, she passed away today. It was this morning, wasn't it?
October 1st, yeah.
Yeah, she passed away actually today. So she passed away earlier today and at the age of 91. The Jane Goodall Institute confirmed her death, noting her lasting impact on the study of chimpanzees and her lifelong dedication to environmental and animal welfare causes. Jane's pioneering research in Gombe Stream National Park, Tanzania, challenged previous scientific assumptions about human uniqueness, specifically regarding tool use among chimpanzees. And her work not only advanced primatology, but also showed the importance of conservation and ethical treatment of animals. She founded the Jane Goodall Institute in 1977, and it continues to support wildlife research, conservation efforts, and community-centered programs. She has the Roots and Shoots program, which empowers young people to engage in environmental and humanitarian initiatives, which is really
Nice.
cool.
Yeah, I definitely know her name, but I didn't know much about her life, so it's really neat to hear about her.
And everybody I remember when I was growing up, um, people that would see her on television or whatever, they would kind of label her as crazy. They would just say, "Wow, this woman, I can't believe she's doing this," or it was just like unreal to people that she was doing it, but living out there with them like that. So Jane received numerous accolades, including the Templeton Prize in 2021 and the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2025. She was always active as far as being an advocate for the planet, stressing the urgency of addressing environmental challenges, and her passing marks the end of an era in primatology and conservation. But her legacy will live on through the ongoing work of her institute and the countless people who are inspired by her and who are also dedicated to understanding and preserving the natural world as Jane did. So,
A good person was lost for sure, yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'm just glad she did all the good work she did.
Yeah, me too. It's hard to put into words how shocking it was. I mean, I knew she was kind of up there in age, but I hadn't heard about her in so long, and to see that the first thing I read on her in forever is that, it just hit me in the chest.
Yeah, for sure.
How about we end on somebody with a really weird looking chest? With a weird looking abdominal situation going on.
I didn't know he had that, but here we go.
Some people think I'm an alien. I mean, would you rather have like a gasoline-powered cell phone or a battery-powered cell phone? I mean, it was like no-brainer,
I don't really have a business plan. Yeah, I haven't had a business. I had a business plan way back in the 2 days.
Much less than we spend on healthcare, but maybe more than we spend on lipstick. Something like that. And I like lipstick, so I can anything against it.
Oh no, the car exploded.
Like if you had like crack cocaine on Mars, like in pre-packaged, pallets, it still wouldn't make sense to transport it back here.
Oh my God.
He says a lot of stupid things.
Yes, that is an iconic sting going on there.
Thank you.
I can't. I love it. All right. So I guess we can end on the fact that Elon Musk, his intelligence company XAI, is developing a new online encyclopedia named Grokpedia.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Not Notsopedia?
Yeah. So Elon thinks that he is aiming to, or thinks he can go beyond Wikipedia when it comes to accuracy and objectivity, which
So only right-wing Nazi propaganda. Okay.
yes, Yes, that is what that is code for. And Elon criticized Wikipedia for alleged bias and claimed Grokopedia would be a massive improvement. The platform will utilize XAI's chatbot, Grok, to autonomously assess and enhance the content. While Grokopedia is still in development, Elon emphasized that it was important for XAI's mission to understand the universe. The project has sparked discussions about AI's role in how it curates information and the challenges of ensuring neutrality in automated systems.
Oh my God. There's no neutrality in anything to do with X.
No, at all. And the times that like it will sometimes lean left and sometimes lean right, and then sometimes like it is so weird the way if a Republican asks something, they'll give them the answer they want, and then somebody else will have to have a follow-up question, and then it says, yeah, actually, and it's like, well, you're not being accurate from the
Yeah.
first place.
Well, and every time that it gives something that's centrist or left leaning, Elon goes and like guts it again so that it only talks Nazi standpoints.
Exactly.
Starts to go and read things again and start to go back to the center.
Yeah.
And then Elon has to fuck with it again. And then it starts to like go for genocide again.
Yes, exactly. I was going to say that's it.
Ugh.
That's definitely it.
Fucking Elon.
Dude, this is what I'm scared of, though. Like, what this world is coming to with not just AI, but AI in the hands of people like Elon and what he can afford to do with it. You know?
Yeah.
Creating your own Grokopedia. It's just that the scary thing to me is how people like Elon have the most access to AI and can manipulate things very easily, depending on whose hands AI is in. You know that, and the future is AI. So
unfortunately, well, we'll see. All the AI companies are losing so much money that they might fail too. So we can hope.
Yeah. I mean, you would think they would eventually be able to just tell ChatGPT to rewrite a whole new history book where white people were perfect, this, that, and this, to fit their narrative. I mean, it could literally happen. And I know it sounds crazy, but they could do it.
Oh, and there's only half the population of the United States that would believe it.
Yeah, more than half, way more than half.
Well, maybe I'm trying to be positive here.
Optimistic, but
trying to be optimistic.
And I'm wondering, hoping if it's more bots that we see online and not in real life.
I think it's just bots. There's a lot of like Twitter's always claimed, or X, whatever. It's always claimed that there's no bots, blah blah blah. No, it's fucking riddled with bots.
Oh yeah, I get followed by fucking definite bots every day. So yeah.
If there's letters and then a whole string of numbers, it's probably a bot.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you tell the people your name of your podcast again one more time?
Okay, so the name of the podcast is The Pop Culture Diary, and it has episodes 1980, 81, 82, and new episodes will be released every Friday at 8, 7 Central. I used to love how on TGIF they would put like 8, 7 Central. So that's how I kind of tell people the time. So, I'm on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram. If you type in The Pop Culture Diary in any of those places, you should see it pop up. So reach out, let me know. Also, any topic segments, anything like that you'd like to dig more into, because I'm totally down for that. But yeah,
perfect.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks for letting me plug again. I appreciate that.
No worries. Well, thanks for tuning in to Brew Crime News, and thanks for supporting us. See you next week. Bye.
Thanks for having me on, Mike.
Of course. We miss you, JT.
Miss you.
So make sure to behave yourself or fuck around and find out. You might find yourself on Brew Crime News.
For all of the sources of this episode of Brew Crime News, head to the Brew Crime podcast feed. This has been a production of Brew Crime.